Hello everyone, I am Josh and welcome to this Sims 4 house building video. So today I am building a home here on a pre-made foundation, and this is because I'm doing I guess it's a challenge, I don't know, well, it's a competition that Simlinks has running currently because he just reached 15,000 subscribers. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out his channel if you haven't watched any of his videos yet. But basically, he's made this foundation, and if you want to, you can go, download this foundation from the gallery. I believe you can find it by using hashtag Simlinks15k, and if you want to enter your lot in his competition, you can also use that hashtag when you're finished. I'm not going to do that because I don't really need to win any stuff packs, which is what he's giving away. I'm perfectly fine with. I just wanted to kind of give the build a go, so that's all I'm doing here. Alright, speaking of stuff packs, I just finally bought the two most recent ones, which was it kids room stuff and backyard stuff, I guess is what it is. Yeah, I haven't bought those until just recently, and I thought I'd give them a go, and they're alright, I suppose. So this house does use content from both of those, anyhow. Just thought I'd mention I finally got those, because I always put off getting stuff packs. I'm really just not that interested. Once they release another expansion pack, then I'll be kind of interested, but for now, stuff packs are kind of just meh. But anyhow, you can see it's actually a pretty big house. It looks big, it's not actually that big, hence the reason this is only like a 20-minute house build. But yeah, it's kind of an imposing looking house, especially on this lot. Now, I do change the lot twice. I move it to a significantly larger, I think 40 by 30 lot, and then I realize it's too big and move it to a different one again. You'll see that. So I don't end up finishing the house on this lot because I thought it would look better with a bit more landscaping than I could fit on this tiny little lot, but you'll see that. This house ends up being 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, I believe, or 2.5 bathrooms. So again, it's not a huge house, and there's no study or anything. It's actually a fairly smaller, I guess medium-sized house on the inside. I think it's just very tall, which is what makes it look a lot bigger than it really is. And yes, you can see here there's actually a lot of porches and stuff, just because the foundation's kind of weird shape. It's a very unique looking house. Also, this is kind of going off topic, but also if you notice why there's a bunch of gnomes sitting on the ground, that's because part of the challenge is you have to use those in the build, so I just kind of put them in the landscaping at the end. And also that window I put on the back of the house is also an object you have to use. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This is an interesting looking house, mainly because you can't see the front door of the house from looking at it front on, because the front door is kind of it's kind of hidden. And that whole turret I just painted is going to be covered in windows as well. I mean, I don't know, it's an interesting looking house. I don't know if I really like it, but it's definitely interesting. I do like the interior a lot, though. I think the inside turned out quite nicely, especially the living room, which you'll see obviously once we get near get started on the inside, which is quite a little bit away. So anyway, you can see here just adjusting the roof, and I went with a kind of copper colored roof, which is why I named the house Copperfield Place or whatever I named it. I don't know, because the roof color kind of reminded me of that. Obviously, if the roof was copper, and I don't think people would make copper roofs because that'd be kind of weird, but if the roof was for some reason made out of copper, it would probably turn bluish turquoise pretty quick. So yeah. Oh, here I'm moving the lot to this 40 by 30 lot, which was just way too big. I'm moving the house to this bigger lot, which just looked way too big, so I ended up moving it again, which you'll see briefly, because it just did not look good on that size lot. So here we go, moving it over to this lot, and this one I think is a better size. So yeah, I do move it a few times around on the lot, but I think this is the final lot. Excuse me, this is the final lot. Oh, so there's the new fence right there. That's from Backyard Stuff, which is actually quite a nice fence, I have to say. Pretty nice. You don't have that many great fences in the game, so it's good to have a fence that looks pretty decent. I would try to make it look fancier by using the brick walls, but anyhow. So I also really wanted a circular kind of driveway, I guess. I say kind of driveway because obviously it's not a driveway. You couldn't fit a car on it, but I wanted a circular fanciness, a circular pathway around a fountain. So, I put it in a fountain and I made this kind of circle around it, and it looks pretty fancy. It looks a lot better once there's some plants in it, But it looks good. And here I'm putting in some trees. I did the majority of the landscaping before I start on the inside, so you'll see that. And I'll also obviously put some paint on the house, because right now there's nothing on there. And here I do cut off the fence, because the lot looked like it went too far back, so I ended up chopping off the back there. And I do put some stuff past the fence, but I thought it just looked like it went too far back. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just, because the house next door is on a smaller lot, and you can see the fence, or the hedge in this case, ends like way before this lot does, and it just looked kind of weird to have the fence running that far back, so I just kind of cut it short a bit. Anyway, you can see there's some balconies, actually a lot of balconies on this house, one of which is kind of weird, but one of which is off of the bathroom, but it's that way because it's just the way the floor plan worked out, so oh well. But anyway, you can see here putting on some roof decor, and I'm going to begin on a few bits and bobs around the house. So there's that kind of glass, it's not a greenhouse really, but you know, I put some planter boxes under it for things, so you could use it as like a greenhouse type of thing. I also put a well in the front too, I thought that was nice. And it came with Get Together. I suppose this roof color must have come from Get Together too, because the color matches perfectly, so that's pretty nice. Anyway, here I'm just putting all the you know, wall stuff on the all the exterior wallpaper, so you know, that looks pretty good. And yeah, it's an interesting looking house for sure. It's definitely kind of interesting. A common theme with all my houses recently have been, not all of my houses, that's a bit of an overstatement, but quite a few of my houses recently has been having the chimney in the front, which I don't know why, but it's just something that I've been doing a lot recently. I don't know if I like it in this house. Might actually look better if the chimney wasn't in the front, but it is in this case. I mean, you know, it looks alright. And here I'm just putting in some trees and bushes and stuff. You know, it looks pretty good. I like the circular kind of driveway around the fountain. I think it looks classy. It makes it look a bit fancier, I guess. And here's a bunch of bushes and things of that nature. You know, obviously my usual landscaping style. Nothing surprising here. Looking for some trees. I didn't like anything else, so didn't put anything else in the front, but yeah, just some basic landscaping here. I do put the gnomes in the gardens. I don't just leave them sitting there in the middle of the driveway. It's a bit odd. Here you can see I'm putting in the front door, which I was going to put there, but I moved it. You can see there, you can't actually see the front door from the front of the house. It's kind of hidden on the side wall there, which is kind of interesting. I like it inside a lot though, because it really works nicely, so you can have like this wonderful little mudroom, which is quite nice, you know, so I think that looked pretty good. So yeah, anyhow, you can see here I'm putting in all the windows and exterior doors and things of that nature, just so there's some kind of stuff going on. I also put these shutters in using blinds, which is something I've done quite a bit. I got the idea from Build It Film It M, because, you know, it was rather genius, so I couldn't help but use it myself. Sorry, Mike. But yeah, it looks pretty fantastic. So I used, yeah, those blinds as shutters. And I also put some flower boxes around the place, and yeah, I think it looks alright. And also putting in some nice trees there on either side of the entrance, so you kind of got kind of some nice flankingness going on, I don't know. And there I just spread out the gnomes into the garden, so they don't like stand out like sore thumbs. And just a few more details, like some drain pipes and stuff. And yeah, anyhow, moving on now to, I wanted to put a gate in. One thing that really bugs me is that there's no gates in The Sims 4 that's larger than 2 blocks wide. I really wish we had like 3 or 4 wide gates, because then you could have like a gate for a driveway, but it doesn't exist. So yeah, since the stairs are 1 wide, a 2 wide gate, a 1 wide gate looked too small, and a 2 wide gate wasn't centered, so just had to give up on the gate idea. Anyhow, inside here, like I said before, we have 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. That's the master bedroom there on the left, and then we have this bedroom here closest, or now it's not, but you know, there's 2 other bedrooms. There's no kids' rooms in this house. I made this house with like, you know, 1 master and then like 2 guest rooms. I don't know, I guess you could change it, but that's what I felt like doing. I thought it just looked better that way, I don't know. Anyhow, in the backyard, there's just like a nice sitting area. I really love the 6-seater round table that came with outdoor living. No, outdoor living, that's a different pack. Backyard stuff. Backyard stuff. Yeah, I love that table. It's really cool. I really wish we had a lot more 6 wide round table, not 6 wide, sorry, 6-seater round tables. That's something I've always wanted, but we never got it until now. The only issue with the ones from Backyard Stuff is that they are, you know, outdoor styled, like they have umbrellas and stuff, so they don't really work inside. It's kind of unfortunate because I really wish we had some just normal looking 6-seater or like even more, you know, round tables, like 8-seater round tables. I don't know, it'd be so nice, but we don't have those, unfortunately, so oh well. Anyhow, you can see you're putting in some more plants and stuff just down the side of the house, and some flowers and, you know, some other nice plants and things just to make it look somewhat decent. And yeah, so I think we're actually almost done with the landscaping. I've put in some terrain paint. I'll obviously come back and add a few more bits and bobs near the end, but for now, this is the main bits of landscaping finished, so, you know, pretty nice. And I think it looks pretty good. And here I'm going to just put in some wood on all of the porches, so, you know, you have something there, and it's not as concrete, because that's a little weird. Also putting a tree, you know, next to the house there. Also got an eyelash in my mouth somehow. I don't know how that happened. That was unusual. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, okay. Anyhow, I'm sorry about it. I felt something on my tongue. I'm like, how the heck did that happen? Anyway, in the house, we have the living room here, and it's putting a bit of tile there. That's going to be the entrance, and it's also putting some tile under the fireplaces because I just like to do that. And yeah, so it's a pretty nice living room. I love that little entrance area, like where the door comes in. There's like that little tiled area. I put this kind of, I guess it's called a, it's not a spandrel. Is it a spandrel? I guess it is. Like, you know, over the kind of around, like closing that area in, kind of. You'll see what I mean. I also did that little thing with the merging the lamp and that ceiling light together to make these nicer looking ceiling lights. I did this before in Ivy Drive. Oh, there we go. There's the spandrel. And yeah, it looks pretty nice. I think that it's interesting because the biggest problem I have with the ceiling lights is that they're way too low. Like for the lowest wall height, the ceiling lights, oh, like your Sims would, you know, clip their heads through them. So I like that light because it's not too low down, but it just kind of is boring looking. So I thought, you know, I'd include the lamp in there. It's a floor lamp, not, well, it's like a table lamp. And I just kind of, you know, use move objects, raise it up into there, and it works perfectly. It actually looks more interesting too. And here we can see I've got that rug on the floor. That rug is from, I think it's from Backyard Stuff for some reason. I don't know why there's a rug in that pack, but I'm not complaining. It looks very nice. And also that painting on the wall is from Kids Room Stuff, which is nice too. You know, just some nice new objects, and putting in some plants and stuff here and there. Well, obviously those objects aren't that new, but they're new for me. And putting in some details here and there and everywhere. And yeah, I just like the living room a lot because it's just like very calming. It's very nice and elegant. I like the colors a lot. But yeah, anyway, this is the little that back room area. That's a little mudroom area, I suppose. And here, this is the kitchen. The kitchen, I went for some warmer colors. It's an interesting looking kitchen. It has a kind of angled island, which you'll see. Also, that the sink. I used the sink from Spa Day, and it's like a standalone sink, and I kind of merged some counters together, which you'll see what happens with that. It's kind of interesting. I just kind of did it more for the sake of being something different. So there's the sink I end up using. It's from Spa Day, and it's kind of interesting. So you can see there, I just kind of merged the cabinets together to kind of make them line up. And yeah, it's definitely something different, you know. I don't know if the sink really fits in with the style of the house, but I wanted to try something different, so there you go. And there's the beginnings of the island. Yeah, the island was a bit of a challenge to squeeze in because it's just a very weird shaped room. You know, it's not a normal shaped kitchen, so I was trying to make it fit, and I kind of found that the angle worked best, so there you go. And some mats on the floors, and pretty decent looking kitchen. Getting in some wallpaper. It's a very warm color. It's a very different color scheme in the kitchen than the living room. You know, they're kind of very distinct. The dining room also went for a warmer color scheme. It's also a very large room, which you'll see when we get to the dining room. I think it might be the biggest room in the house. I don't know. It also has a fireplace like the living room does. I believe, yeah, this house has 3 fireplaces. There's one in the living room, one in the dining room, and then one in the master bedroom. So, you know, very fancy in that way. And just putting in some details in the kitchen just so it looks more realistic, I suppose, and you know, some plants and some doohickeys and thingamabobs, and you know, putting in some different mats on the floor. This is the half bathroom downstairs. It's a fairly simple bathroom. I got just a sink and a toilet. I also put in a little half wall with a glass piece on it. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I'm not a big fan of the color of it. You'll see it's kind of like this weird bluish color, but that's the only color it came in. So, oh well, it's from, I think it's from Dine Out. So, anyway. This is the dining room here, which you can see is a big room. I put in the dining table in this section. It's kind of like, I split the room into two sections, kind of. So you have, you know, the dining room area, and it's like a little fireplace area, like with a little sitting area by the fireplace, which, you know, I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, I just kind of, you know, use that little kind of wooden divider thingy just to kind of separate the spaces a bit, put in some details, and, you know, it's a pretty nice looking room. It's definitely spacious, I mean, that's for sure. And you know, it's alright. Yeah, I'm really good at selling my designs, aren't I? Oh yeah, it's alright, it's fine. It's just, you know, it's mediocre. I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, there's the little sitting area, and getting some lights in there, and also a nice mirror on the wall. There you go. That's the first floor, actually. You know, it was pretty quick. Well, I'm putting some details in the mudroom areas. Anyhow, we're moving on now to the second floor, which obviously has the 3 bedrooms, and this is a small little landing there. And we're going to start on the master bedroom, which the master bedroom is a little weirdly shaped as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit 2 nightstands in there. The bed has to be against a wall, so there's only 1 nightstand, but it's alright. Your Sims can use both sides of the bed anyway, because this is the fancy schmancy Sims 4, so Sims can move over on the beds to let someone else in, so, you know, how fancy is that? Anyhow, there's your one lone nightstand. Oh well. Anyway, getting some paintings on the wall. This room has a blue color scheme, as you can see. Also has a fireplace, and just put in some dressers and some details and, you know, things of that sort. I was going to say things of that nature again, but I think I've already exhausted that term in this video. So I'll say things of that sort from now on. And, yeah, this room does have a balcony, which is quite lovely. It looks out the front of the house, and there's another one of those newfangled rugs from, what is it, Backyard Stuff? So many stuff packs now to keep track of, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, you can see here a little bit of a turret as well, and that fancy schmancy, and a bit of detailing, you know, just a bit of things here and there. And yeah, there you go, lovely. Anyhow, moving on now to the master bathroom, which is a fairly small bathroom, but I guess all the bathrooms in this house are pretty small. And it's just got dual sinks, shower, and a toilet. Fairly simple, straightforward, nothing out of the ordinary here. I did use this space in the chimney there to kind of, you know, score a usable bathroom, because otherwise it'd be way too small. But anyhow, this is one of the guest rooms. It also has a balcony, which you can see looks out the backyard, and it's fairly small, but it gets the job done, I guess. You know, you got a nice double bed, bit of a dresser there, and a bit of a rug on the floor. Very calming, kind of neutral colors in here, and some plants in the corner just for a bit of detail, and a bit of a curtain there. And yeah, speaking of curtains, I'm still suffering. Well, I'm not suffering, but my game is still suffering from the curtain glitch, which is still as present as ever. You know, so whenever I go into live mode to take the screenshots, all the curtains glitch out and I have to replace them all in the house. That's fun. I know I complained about this in every single one of my Sims 4 videos, so you're probably sick and tired of hearing me say this, but seriously, when is the Sims team gonna fix it? I mean, for Pete's sake. Like, what has it been? It's been 2 months. And it's not fixed, still. I mean, I'm kind of in disbelief about it at this point, but anyway, I'll just have to deal with it, I guess. So, this is the last guest room. Fairly simple. We already finished it, you know, that was pretty quick. But yeah, that was the last guest room. And now moving on to just a bit of outdoor seating. I'm going to put the new 6-seater round table outside. There it is, look at that beauty. And just a bit more, you know, landscaping and stuff. Anywho, we're almost done with this house build. Hope you enjoyed. There's some screenshots after this I hope you stick around for. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I greatly appreciate it if you consider subscribing. And there's plenty more videos like this on my channel for you to check out. And I'd also appreciate it if you'd follow me on Twitter, because I do post, you know, screenshots and things, updates and stuff like that. There's a link in the description below for you to check that out. Also a link in the description for my Instagram account. Anyway, we're pretty much done here. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye guys, have a wonderful day.